What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In this video, we are jumping into Legion of X issue number 10. We have seen a lot that is currently ongoing throughout this series. We have Warlock, who has been possessed by Nimrod in the astral plane. Nimrod severing Warlock's bond to Cypher, using his connection to Krakoa so that he could stage an incursion. Also inviting an astral technarchy to infiltrate the minds of Krakoans, transforming many into mindless, violent drones. But only Forget-Me-Not trapped inside of the Nafix. Only he knows the true scale of the impending doom. So make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into this issue, there is going to be a huge reveal at the end that you're not going to want to miss. Many of you theorized this, many of you guessed it, and you were 100% correct. But before we can get to that, we are jumping into the astral plane. We have Legion, Blindfold, and Charles Xavier. They find themselves facing against a technarchy, this giant beast coming to eat the minds, a hungry hive waiting. And the biggest weapon that they have, David, has been taken off of the board because of a psychic Trojan horse virus that Charles Xavier put into David. There was so much rage inside of him. Xavier thought the worst. He thought that either David was going to kill him or that he was going to explode. He believed putting him down in this manner that it was the most humane and best way he could handle the situation. It wasn't until he got into the astral plane and saw all the work he was doing, the skill, the discipline that all of this had taken. With Charles seeing this monstrosity going for his people, we see it split into two. One piece is going for David, the other is going for the minds of Krakoa, leaving David to his demise, apologizing to Blindfold but saying that his people must come first, that there is no time to waste. Leaving his son and Blindfold in this weakened state, we pick up on Krakoa. We have the spirit of variance, Juggernaut, Lost. They're trying to make their way through here. This is where Lost, she picks up an ear mic. Putting it into her ear, she hears the voice of Forget-Me-Not. This helps her remember. In a very faint voice, we hear Forget-Me-Not say that there are sentinels, that Nimrod created an astral attack as a distraction, hacking Warlock, taking over the island, learning to grow things. This is when Lost says that they gotta get inside. The only problem, Juggernaut finds himself lacking. With all of this magic, he doesn't find himself at full strength. And so breaking down the defenses that Nimrod has put up, that is going to be a little bit of a challenge. But it's not going to be a challenge for the spirit of variance. Meanwhile, over in Germany, we see that Nightcrawler, he has been tricked, his mother luring him here, only to have Orcus descend down on him. And while Nightcrawler quickly surrenders to save the life of his friends, his mother doesn't want him to surrender to Orcus. She wants the full power of Nightcrawler to truly come out. As she hits him with a blast of energy, we see him go full freaking monster. Back on the astral plane, as David is about ready to be eaten alive. That is where Charles Xavier comes running in, unable to leave his son, asking if David trusts him. Of course David doesn't, but also going on to say that they will never be better than them worst selves, that if they cannot live in hope instead of faith. That is where David opens up his mind to his father. Charles Xavier, a man who thought himself mighty. The father tastes true power For the very first time, the barrier defenses sound their thunder, and as he exults in borrowed might, Charles Xavier finds himself not merely in lease of his son's power, but the first time awash in his son's self, knowing true pain, knowing true need, knowing true strength. With tears coming down Charles' face, saying that he never knew. All of that power pulling him apart, tearing him into pieces, but still somehow he is able to hold himself together, that he holds his head high. Blindfold saying, "What did you expect?" He has been trying to tell you from the start that he rules himself. This is where we see Mother Righteous. Seeing this display, she finds it relatively disgusting. She didn't want David to share his power. She wanted David to use his power. Going to check on the spirit of variance, believing that at least she has one disciple that is not sharing the power. But what we see is the spirit of variance has turned Juggernaut into his steed, empowering Juggernaut with the power of the spirit of variance. They go crashing through the wall, breaking it down, finding themselves face to face with Sentinels. As they battle their way through here, Warlock is begging Cypher to end his life. Warlock wants to die. He wants his core ripped out of him. That is the only way to stop Nimrod from taking over. Of course, Cypher wants to find another way. Him and Warlock are bonded together. This is not something that he wants to do, but Warlock is begging anybody to do this. That is where Forget-Me-Not, he is able to get up there. No one paying attention to him, always forgetting that he is around. He goes up to the core of Warlock and he pulls it out of his chest. In that moment, Nimrod is dispatched. His forces destroyed. Everything that he was trying to do, it dissipates. But it came at the life of Warlock. The soul bond has been broken. Doug finds himself in great pain, with Marionette going on to say that maybe they can find the software, the mind of Warlock somewhere out there. That they are going to find it, she vows it, she promises it. But as they walk away, not a single remember the sacrifice that Forget-Me-Not had made, burning himself to very ash just to do this. As we pick back up with Nightcrawler, he dispatched most of the Orcus agents. His mother, the only person left standing. Now, with his mother going on a monologue talking about how he once hosted the Soul Sword, but he gave it away. Such things can leave gaps, like a blacksmith casting mold. But now he finds himself rubbing shoulders with gods, romances with aliens, and shrug at magic, saying that this hurts a man of faith. Deep down to the very core, to see so many mysteries reduced to common experience, the inexplicable rendered ordinary, that he has spent his life stubbornly clinging to joy, refusing to be crushed by disappointment, that he has turned the void within, he has turned this into a spark of light for the world, and in the right hands, that is the strongest magic there is. This is where we see his mother begin to pull something out of his chest. This is no soul blade, not some dreary weapon. This is the Hope Sword, pulling it out of the very chest of Nightcrawler. She opens up a portal and says that Orcus is not done with him. She expects more goons to come and collect him soon. Thanking him for the gift, she takes off, leaving him in this very broken state. That is where we have the arrival of Mother Righteous. Looking at this lovely mess that was made, wondering what Nightcrawler would do to fill that hole that was just taken out of him, to fill up all that emptiness. Asking Nightcrawler, what is it worth to you? Removing her mask, we see that this is none other than the Heart Sinister. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Like I said, many of you called this. I think I even theorized it here on the channel that maybe Mother Righteous was either some kind of form of Mephisto or it was another Sinister. And I believe that this gives us complete catch-up on all of our Sinisters. We have Dr. Stasis, we have Stellaris, we have Mother Righteous, and then we have our regular old Sinister. All of this moving us into the sins of Sinister. It's gonna be very interesting to see how all of these characters, they interact with one another, how they are going to play their parts, with Sinister restarting the timeline and doing his own thing, taking over essentially the entire world, the entire nation of Krakoa, making his way out into space, getting ready to face off against the world's, the universe's biggest threats. You could say that Sinister has kind of created his own hive mind, but they're not all connected. They all are just Sinister. Everything, everywhere is Sinister. But there are those that didn't get assimilated, such as Storm, which we are gonna see with Storm and the Brotherhood of Arako. I think it is safe to assume that the other Sinisters also did not get assimilated. Now, in Sins of Sinister issue number 1, what we have seen is that Sinister's laboratory to restart the timeline with all of his clones, it has been taken. The question now, who has taken it? Was it his Council of Sinisters, or was it one of the rogue Sinisters? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your theories. If you would like to get completely caught up on everything going on with the Sins of Sinister or the Legion of X, be sure to check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It is gonna get you completely caught up on everything going on with this series. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having 5 different tiers, from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to getting free comics every single month. Not only can this help out the channel tremendously, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you are unable to do that, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.